Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 114, written by Dog Lips. A simple notebook vanished, inconceivably returned, changing positions. An important note, I live alone. I was sitting at the kitchen table, writing in a notebook. Finished for the night, I closed the book and put my pencil on top of it. There was nothing else on the table. The next morning, I see the pencil on the table, but the book was gone. I searched everywhere for it. The refrigerator, the piano bench, under the bed, behind the sofa. It was gone. I started writing in a new notebook, figuring I'd stumble across the original one of these days. When I finished, I closed it and left the pencil on top. Again, there was nothing else on the table, just the book and the pencil. For the next week, the pencil and notebook were there exactly as I left them, until the 7th day. I walked into the kitchen, looked at the table, and saw the original notebook underneath the one I'd been using all week, and yes, the pencil was on top. No, I don't have security cameras, but I do leave the security alarm on at night. No, I have no history of sleepwalking, nor does anyone in my biological family. I don't have any pets, as I'm still grieving the loss of my goodest boy. And no, I don't drink or use drugs. I haven't been ill or had any shots lately. Thank you for letting me get this off my chest. Case notes, file number 114. May your goodest boy rest in peace. As for the anomaly, disappearing object phenomenon, with an added return order. Almost feels like there must be some entities or server managers playing around with us, making us go crazy. This is the type of stuff I'd do to prank people, if I had the power of invisibility or server mod powers. If we do live in a simulation, of course. They're just small enough mysteries to make you think it doesn't mean much. It must be a coincidence or my faulty memory maybe. But still large enough to create this itch in the back of your mind. A kind of seed of crazy. Case file number 115, written by uniquestarss. Depression and begging the dead. A dangerous mindset. So this happened back in 2019, around November 2nd, I believe. Not sure if this was just a coincidence or what. So back in 2019, I was pretty much depressed the whole year. Not really suicidal, but let's say I stopped wearing a seatbelt, smoked twice as many cigarettes as I would have normally, and didn't care much about my well-being, for the most part. Due to this depression, and things getting worse mentally, I did a lot of dumb things supernatural-wise. I've always known not to speak to the dead, knowing that when you speak to one spirit, the rest can hear you as well. I've always been extremely superstitious, and believe in the paranormal and supernatural 100%. Anyways, I live next to a huge cemetery and drive by it every day since it's right across from my neighborhood. Due to my superstitions and believing that the dead can do things us humans aren't capable of, each day I would scream out of the window when passing the cemetery, begging for one of the spirits to get me in a car accident. So I did that each day while driving past the cemetery. Lo and behold, November 6th, I was driving to work at about 4:30 a.m. I go the same way every day and was coming up to a red light. Out of nowhere, and I kid you not, this was literally out of freaking nowhere, I heard a loud honk from behind me and I was rear-ended by one of those big white RG&E trucks that fix telephone poles and stuff. Since I was at the red light, it basically pushed my car forward into the middle of the intersection. And once again, out of nowhere, I was T-boned by some random-ass old man in a van with his wife. I was driving an 05 Nissan Sentra at the time, and it was completely wrecked, literally demolished, and I had not one scratch on me at all. My knees were extremely bruised. I have no idea how that happened, but that was pretty much it. This also happened literally on the main road coming out of my neighborhood about a mile down from the cemetery. There are never any cars this early in the morning, maybe one, but even that's rare for the most part. Also, while I was talking to the old man, they live in a town literally 40 freaking minutes away and were driving to the park. The whole story is so weird, and honestly, it kind of creeps me out. But yeah, I was in an extremely bad financial situation also, and was stuck without a car for quite a bit. When I was driving by the cemetery, begging to be in an accident, I meant that I wanted it to be fatal, so I think whichever spirit heard me or whatever wanted to mess with me or something. I don't know, take it as you will. Maybe this is an extremely weird coincidence, but if not, always remember to be careful what you wish for when speaking to the dead. Case Notes, File Number 115. This is interesting to me mainly because of how our will can affect our own actions and perception of the world. The question is, did a malevolent spirit inject themselves into the old man driving this large service truck, causing him to rear-end you? Or was this part coincidence? Accidents of course do happen frequently enough. Actually, what surprises me most is the fact that you were completely uninjured, besides some bruising. I've personally been in a very light car crash before, very low speed, also rear-ended. My neck took months to recover just from that. So in your case, yeah, it could have been fatal. Maybe it should have been. My instinct is actually the reverse of yours. Maybe the spirits in your area offered you protection from the accident that was indeed just an accident. Or maybe I'm just the eternal optimist, huh? Either way, glad you are okay, and I hope you feel better now. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and feel free to watch more on my channel. I have a lot more content.